Joan, a single mother of two, has reached out to me because she has just lost her job where she's been working for 10 years and is now facing financial crisis. Her plea has shown me that poverty, sexism, and racism is plaguing our country on a serious level. Joan has a husband who's been in jail due to being in possession of marijuana and was recently denied parole. His 10-year sentence and denied parole, while reasons unknown, could be due to the color of his skin. And the reason that Joan was fired could also be due to her color of her skin and the fact that she is a woman.
You may have already heard of many different programs already out there to help with issues of poverty and unemployment. However, a lot of them don't solve the issue at hand. Due to the fact that a lot of these programs have requirements that individuals who are struggling with unemployment can't provide. Examples of this would be a fixed amount of income or proof of residence or maybe a bank account, all things that it may be harder to get as somebody who is unemployed.
So, into helping Joan for immediate help, we need to realize that the ways that she needs to sign up for programs in the Millersville area is that they're going to have to give a background check, basically, on her job, her home ownership, how many people are in her family, things like that. But that can take a long amount of time, so the government needs to provide her with resources to be stable and on her feet until then. So this can be we can make this happen by expanding the two main government programs, TANF and SNAP. TANF basically helps people get back on their feet so they can start looking for a job again by providing them with money. And SNAP Food Benefits provides people with the money to go to retail stores and provide food for themselves. Providing more resources and funding to those two programs would overall help people in Joan's situation in the state of Georgia, but also nationally as well, especially since it's harder for people to find programs in their area and then make sure that they pass make sure they're eligible to get to that program. And another way we can provide Joan with immediate help is by opening her a bank account, since she already doesn't have one. She only has $5,000 in cash. So providing a financial advisor and a bank account would help her a lot by putting into a savings account. It's safer, especially because she doesn't have a home anymore. And so that would definitely help her keep track of how much money she's making and keep it safer for her. This will also help her in the future because having a bank account is one thing that a lot of careers, like people that are hiring employers, they need to look at these things. And it'll be a lot harder for her to access these records if she doesn't have these things. The last thing is we need to make sure that programs are set up for people that lose a family member to a prison sentence. So basically, when Joan lost her husband, she lost all the funding and physical and monetary support that he provided for his family. And the government should provide for that loss, especially since she will have to raise 2 kids on her own. But she lost her job, which means she has no way to fund anymore. So if the government had helped earlier on by realizing that losing a family member to a prison sentence or incarceration is such a big setback to a family, then she might not be in as worse of a situation as she is in now. So setting up programs that will help people in this position will definitely be beneficial for the country as a whole. And yes, I think that's how we can help Joan immediately. And next we'll talk about how to help her avoid situations like this and to be good in the future.
Millions of Americans end up unemployed and poverty every year, but nothing is being done to prevent it. If the government paid more attention and focused on families at risk of going below the poverty threshold, some cases could be prevented. One of the ways to help solve this issue is when a family gets too close to the poverty line, the government comes in and offers assistance. A fixed amount of income should be provided to them, for example 6 months, as well as a financial advisor to help monitor that money. They should also be provided with access to a bank account and information on how to use it. Lastly, early education resources and accessible childcare should be made known. Another form of earlier on prevention comes from within the American school system. Almost no schools across the U.S. teach classes for basic life skills, such as how to manage money, how to open a bank account, how to find a job, and learning to make connections. If a nationwide mandate was made requiring that these courses be taught, hundreds of thousands of children would be more prepared to begin their futures as adults. If kids become more financially literate and understanding at a young age, it will be easier to continue that into adulthood. These issues affect individuals, society, and the economy, so it is important that people are given the necessary tools to help prevent this situation, and also offer aid to those who are currently affected. With these solutions, unemployment and poverty rates will lower, and people will begin to flourish.